get this party started then. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday. And I'm so excited tonight. If you didn't see the promo, well, first let me ask in the chat if you saw Get Wealthy in the chat. Let me know if you saw the premiere of our Get Wealthy program. All right, all right. I see Zerlene and Lillian, and yes, so that's exactly what we're going to talk about this evening. Welcome everybody. Let me give folks a few minutes to get in. It is WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday, and let me see. Introduce yourself in the chat and let me see who is in the house with me this evening. Yes, so you all were here. So good evening, everyone. I'm Deborah Owens, founder and CEO of WealthyU, and also known as America's Wealth Coach. And WealthyU, we teach Black women, how to build their first investment portfolios to 7 figures and beyond. So welcome to WealthyU Wind Down. Hey, if it's anybody's first time, let me know if it is your first time joining us on WealthyU Wind Down. Oh, I had a conversation with Aisaleen Jones, and I see she's here. Welcome to WealthyU Wind Down. My first time, I see that is someone named Ross, and I'm looking at all of your wonderful faces, and I'm so excited to see all of you. I see some new faces, and I see some of our women who've been hanging with us for a long time. So welcome to all of you this evening. So tonight, it's WealthyU Wind Down. And if it's your first time, let me just share with you what WealthyU Wind Down Wednesdays. It's a weekly Wednesday kind of get together where we come on and we chat with one another. I bring up whatever topics, whatever's going on WealthyU Wind Down. I mean, in WealthyU and our WealthyU Society or our WealthyU program. And, uh, quite often we have guests and sometimes we don't. So the first thing we do though is I give a toast to all of you because it is WealthyU Wind Down. So if you have a favorite glass of wine, an adult beverage, whatever your kind, if you just like water, that's okay with you. But most of you know I am typically drinking a Cabernet Sauvignon, and this is a cab from Napa. And unfortunately, I can't see what the label says, but a toast to all of you this evening because we are going to get this party started. Now, let me just tell you why I am so excited is because we pulled it off on Monday night. Did you guys enjoy Get Wealthy? In the chat, let me know if you enjoyed Get Wealthy. And here's why. That was months in the making, and I have to give a shout out to all of the people who made that happen. And most of all, I gotta give my girl Deprina kudos because you guys have no idea what went into producing that show, getting all of our people in place. I've also got to give my husband a round of applause for doing double duty. Not only was he doing tech and handling his own business, but he was making sure that things were rolling smoothly. Got to give my makeup artist, Mayon Bryant, a shout out because she would show up in her little mobile van and get me all duded up. And in some cases, she stayed the whole day because we shot 2 episodes in one day. But who I really got to give a shout out to is our WealthyU goal models. Now, in WealthyU, we call women who are willing to share their transformation goal models because they are the women that we want you to emulate, right? Like many of them were sitting right where many of you are right now. They may have came to a WealthyU Wind Down. They may have attended one of our legacy, our master classes, and I'll talk about that because we're about to launch another one. And if you act fast, you can get in on a pretty good deal. So I'll talk about that a little later. They may have, like many of you, went through one of our 5-day Savvy Money Makeover challenges. And they were sitting there and they were wondering, oh, I don't know, is this for me? Should I do this? And they took committed to themselves, made an investment in themselves, and the rest is history. And so what you saw on Monday was one of those women, Dr. Sharon Deans, who came to one of my first challenges, then signed up for the WealthyU Society. And what did you all think about the amazing financial transformation that she has been able to accomplish in just 18 months? If you guys saw that in the chat, let me know. What were your takeaways, if you will, from the amazing transformation that she had? That's right. Zerlene says, go, Doc, go. I love it. Outstanding. Inspiring. Right. So what I want all of you to know is that eventually that will be you. That is the goal of WealthyU. To achieve that's what we're about, results. And to have you achieve that level of financial success, because it's what many of you desire and deserve. Agree or disagree with me, ladies? Do you desire to have that same level of financial success that you saw on the Get Wealthy episode? Right. Because you desire and you deserve it. But here's what I want you to understand is that I've had conversations with many of you, and I know the obstacles and the lack of access you have had to the type of education and knowledge that Sharon Dean's got access to. Right? At WealthyU, we're simply providing you with the tools. But not only that, we're providing you, and this is the most important thing I've learned over these last 2 years since launching the WealthyU Society, and it is the power of accountability and support and community. You see, we've had WealthyU, the community, for many, many years, but it was not until we launched the group program, the WealthyU Society, that we were able to see just the kind of trajectory at the rate, the financial trajectory at the rate. So right now we have over 200 women in our WealthyU Society program. That's our group 12-month group coaching program. And I say program because WealthyU is not a course. That's what I want you to know. Our WealthyU Society is not a course. It is a program. And if you think, if I think about it, WealthyU knowledge, right? University or whatever. But the truth is that we know that in order for you to internalize the concepts and then apply them in WealthyU, that you need, a good 12 months just to be able to internalize the concept. So for those of you who are in WealthyU and have been in WealthyU for some time, in the chat, I would love for you to just share what this journey in months is like, right? Is it making a difference for you? That's what I want to know. And not only that, one of the other aspects of WealthyU and the WealthyU Society that I'm most proud of is our ability to continue to innovate. So when WealthyU Society first launched, we didn't have many of the tools that we have now. Now we do have our online curriculum. By the way, ladies, if you're in the WealthyU Society, come correct tomorrow night because it is what? It is strategic advisory. And that's when I show up prepared to provide you with insight that you can apply, right? So it's all about you identifying your unique opportunity levers, and that makes all the difference. And those investment opportunity levers are different for everyone. And that's why it's important for you to lean in, right? Lean in. Because the whole point of Wealthy You is for you to all win. And there is no greater example of that than Get Wealthy. And that's what I'm most excited about. Get Wealthy is not about me. It is about the results and the transformation that women experience when they get access to the right knowledge, insight, and tool. Am I preaching to anybody tonight? Right? And so, you just have no idea the gratitude that I have for the growth of all of you in this community. I hope you all get that, because imagine little old me basically telling the financial services industry, you got it all wrong, and I'm gonna go charge my own path, right? I'm leaving all of the cushy benefits, all of the salary, and I'm literally gonna roll up my sleeves and make it happen. And the fear that can engulf you when you make that kind of decision, right? And not only that, then you're telling them everything y'all doing is wrong, right? And then, I kind of knew it intuitively. And then getting on the outside and actually rolling up my sleeve and starting to coach women one-on-one, and finding out that many of you were seeking help, advice, counsel. And when you reached out to one of these financial services organizations, you basically got the door slammed in your face, or it was very subtle, right? Here, take an application. And here's what's really interesting. I was talking with a good friend of mine today, and I was kind of recounting, the whole process of developing Wealthy You, and really getting clear on our objectives, and understanding who we're serving better. And I was talking about the fact that I had went to a very large financial services organization because something was about to hit the press about someone they treated really poorly, who was, who had quite a reputation and could tarnish theirs. And recognizing that here, this person had all the assets in the world, and he was still treating poorly. And then guess what? Then she recounted to me her experience of just getting her first job and wanting to go, and going into one of these organizations. And because she was $1,000 shy of what it would take to open that account, not only did they not offer her a very similar account, because I worked for Merrill Lynch too, that's where I got my start before I went to Fidelity, they basically told her no. And do you know, she said she would never deal with that institution again. I want you to hear what I'm saying. So in the chat, have any of you ever reached out for assistance, for help in trying to start an investment account, or get started, or counsel, or wanting to open up your first IRA, and gotten nothing but what do I want to call it? I guess it's just, like, if you don't have access to that world, if you don't have money, then you just don't, the doors don't open for you. And I mean, in the chat, let me know, has that happened to any of you, right? That reached out and wanted to, actually reached out and were met with disdain. That was the word I was looking for, disdain. Just, this is not for you. Yes, that's right. Jacqueline says yes. Nicole says yes. Well, let me tell you, I didn't realize all this was happening until I started coaching. So, so I know the world that I came out of, high net worth investing. And I know rarely did I encounter anyone that looked like me or had my background. And I wonder because when I was actually advising and managing other people, we helped everyone regardless of the amount that they had. Yeah, there were certain minimums that you had to meet, but everyone was treated with respect and given some insight and knowledge around what their options were, and depending upon how much they had to invest, what would be a good fit, right? So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this is that I didn't know that was happening. And so once I started coaching, and in fact, in one instance, went with someone and saw that they were treated, how they were treated, I was just, whoa, wow, this is really happening. And then had done that for a few years, and then boom, COVID happens. And then all of the women who were in what was then our different levels of one-on-one coaching were calling and saying, man, what's going to happen? Am I going to lose my money? And that's in March of 2020, right? Well, actually, it was May of 2020. We launched our first WealthyU Society group coaching program. And from there, the community has grown, right? We also have another program for next level, right? In terms of strategy, investing, real estate. And so what I want you to know is that we've created this for you, and we continue to innovate. And so to that end, part of that innovation has been we introduced the skill building sessions, and those are sessions on different topics specifically in analyzing and researching mutual funds, analyzing and researching stocks, opening up your first financial app. Now we've just added our financial calculator training, where you're learning how to determine what your financial independence number is. So and here's the other thing that I want you to know is that we continue to innovate. So for those of you who are in the WealthyU Society, in the Legacy Wealth Accelerator, one of the things that we've just introduced this month is that you're all going to be studying one stock altogether and one mutual fund altogether. And the reason that we're introducing this model to your skill building is so that you can practice on the same thing. And when you come together, you can see if you got this right or you got this wrong, or where to find the information. So that's another one of our innovations and our iterations, if you will. That will also be true of our stock. Analyzing and researching stock. Every month there will be a stock to study, and you will all research the same stock, and you will come to the table and you will be able to see, based on that criteria, what you got right and where you can find the information. So give me some feedback, ladies, for those of you who are in the WealthyU Society. Does that new element or degree of what do I want to call it, intensity, does that sound like it would be of value to you? Because Lillian says yes, excellent. Zerlene says yes, that's awesome. And here's why. Because again, we did a survey in the WealthyU Society, and you guys all gave us that feedback that you almost wanted it to be group study. So that's what we're introducing. Sound good, ladies? Yes, I like that. Well, let me just tell you, we continue to take it up a notch. And so one of the other things that we're introducing, I just met with our WealthyU ambassadors / member success advisors. And you know that our WealthyU ambassadors are those women that when you come into our WealthyU community, you're connected to, and they're there to guide you to what our resources are. However, when you actually commit to the Wealthy Youth Society, one of our coaching programs, whether it's the Wealthy Youth Society or the Legacy Wealth Accelerator, guess what? They become your member success advisor. And so they are the point of contact and are there to assist you in matriculating through this 12 months. And do you know why? Because they were exactly where you were. So they know exactly where all of the tools, the resources, they know when you get hung up on something, they've overcome the obstacles. And so they're there to lend you accountability and support. Accountability and support. They are not your little advisor, because in this community, we do not advise. That's what I want you to understand. We do not tell you what to do. We teach you how to do it, and we help you to discover the right answer. And that is the difference between advice and coaching. The whole point of Wealthy You is to give you the tools necessary so that you are empowered, you can apply it, you can have the same level of confidence that we saw with Dr. Sharon Deans. But it's even more important than that, because if you remember in her interview, one of the things that she talked about was her children, and this was about legacy, and that's exactly what Wealthy You is about. So in terms of our mission is to help 1 million Black women achieve $1 million in net worth so that they can create intergenerational wealth and pass on the most valuable asset of all, and that's the ability to know how to build wealth. Making sense? And so that's why I really wanted to kind of set the stage for tonight and help you understand that you have everything you need to be everything you need to be. The only thing standing between you and the financial success you desire and deserve, like Dr. Sharon Deans, is knowledge. Are you guys with me? Okay, but it's not only knowledge, because our framework is mindset, strategy, and execution, right? Mindset, strategy, and execution. And so what we spend a lot of time on is mindset, because we are literally deprogramming you. Because everything that you've been taught about how you're going to achieve financial success, that you're just going to work and you're just going to save and you're going to get all this education and you're going to get in all this debt, it doesn't work. Because if it did, there would not be the wealth gap. The median income of Black women would not be $200. So I don't even have to get on my little soapbox. I don't have to bring out any kind of support, because ladies, it was what it was. See, y'all thought I was going to say it is what it is. No, it was what it was, but we're going to change that. And you saw that in Living Proof, right? That was in Living Color. Woo, I just had a flashback in Living Color. See, I might have dated some of y'all might not know about In Living Color, but that's where every Black star in America right now, comedian right now, got their start there. Who was it? Jamie Foxx. You guys remember Jamie Foxx was on? Okay, I'm dating myself, but anywho. So where was I? So mindset, strategy, execution. We are deprogramming you, and we're helping you to understand that the real method of achieving financial success really is turning your income into assets. And so that's why we have a pretty rigorous program in Wealthy You, and we focus on the investment markets, how to analyze and research stock and build that investment portfolio. Right. But here's what I want you to know. The first thing I want to do, though, I want to talk about Get Wealthy, our first episode, because one of the things I want all of you to do is what were the takeaways, right? Like what were your takeaways from Dr. Sharon Deans? Okay, I just want you to think about that. And if you haven't seen it, Deprina, if you could put the link to Roland Martin's Facebook page in the chat so that we can make sure you guys can go back and review that interview. Because here's what I want you to know, like in interviewing Sharon, I thought, man, she did a lot, right? However, what you have to understand is when we initially met, there were two things that I identified, and typically that's what I do intuitively, is identify what your investment opportunity levers are, meaning what is the one thing you can do that would make the most impact. And if you guys don't have your cameras on, if you can put your cameras on, I want to get to know you, right? Because I know everybody in WealthyU, at least I try to. And your ambassadors are talking to me all the time about so-and-so said this, or this is that, or can we do this, or can we do that? Now, sometimes I'm going to be quite frank with you. I tell your WealthyU ambassadors, no, we ain't doing that. But, I mean, if it is going to accelerate the growth of every member, yeah, we're going to implement it. So we do want to hear from you. It might not always be yes, right? But many times it is, because we are listening to you, and we're also looking at the women that are having the fastest acceleration and looking at what are they doing and how can we duplicate that more readily, right? So getting back to the point that I'm making, in the next, we're going to be on for the next year, 52 weeks. We've got 7 episodes in the can already. So in the coming weeks, you are going to hear the stories, some amazing stories. Like I'm interviewing them. I know all these women. I've coached all these women, but I don't know what they're going to say, right? And I don't know the intricacies of their situation until they tell me. And so for some of the conversations, my mouth was just dropped. Not that I didn't know that they were doing well and they were making significant progress, but it was just unbelievable when they told me the time frame. In fact, the producers, we come off of an interview and they were like, where are you finding these women? But you know what was so powerful? Is the fact that they had all been through the same process and had those outcomes. I want you guys to get this. And so tonight, one of the things that I wanted to do is just have you all watch that video, and then think about what is the 1 or 2 things that you learned from Dr. Sharon Deans that you could apply that would make a significant impact on you. And it's different for everybody. That's all I want to tell you. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of set it up and kind of recap that interview, right? And so if you'll notice, the thing that made the biggest impact for her and the reason she could pay off all of her debt, in the chat, I want to see if you guys remember in the chat, what did she do that allowed her to pay off her debt and made the path much easier, made her and allowed her to then make some other moves. In the chat, let me see if you remember that. And if I could see the chat window, that would be helpful. If you could pull up the chat window, if you could pull up the chat window, that'd be great. Okay, so what did she do? Right, so she used her, yep, she leveled up. She stopped. The first thing she did, I forgot about that. The first thing she went through was the Savvy Money Makeover Challenge. Many of you, and she did a financial makeover, was going. That's the first thing, right? That's the first thing. The first thing was, and that's what many of you have everything you already need, right? That's right. She stopped shopping, stopped buying things. Exactly. And then, we kind of had a conversation around where she was and where she wanted to be. And it was clear that she was ready to move on, right? Now that is relevant for many of you. How many of you are sitting in a role and been sitting there and doing a phenomenal job, right? If you're an entrepreneur, how many of you have been, just killing it? But your expenses has risen, but you haven't raised prices, and so your profits are lower. Are y'all with me? Like, there are some very intentional things that you can do that can make a significant impact. And so one of the things she was able to do, that was her investment opportunity. That was the lever that she needed to pull that could make the most impact, was that severance, right? And finding that next opportunity, and that next opportunity, and being able to negotiate her package. Are y'all with me? Many of you need to be leveling up, because if you think you're going to sit there and do the same thing and get a different result, that is called insanity. So how many of you have been sitting in the same place waiting on somebody to tap you on the shoulder and tell you what a great job you did? That's not how it works. And you know what? That's exactly why we're the theme of our next masterclass. Ladies, what do you think it is? It's leveling up. Legacy wealth. How to level up to accelerate your financial growth, because that's exactly what you did, right? So let me look at some more of your. She learned how to say no. That's right, Carol. No is a complete sentence. She listened and really trusted your advice. Now, that's the other thing I'm going to say. Like, it really is about execution, ladies. The women that go further the fastest, they execute. Here's what I want you to know. We have winners in WealthyU. Winners. They want it. They have a desire. I am responsible and no excuses. And what that means to be a winner, you have to understand, is that you never lose. You never lose. You either win or you learn. And that, ladies, is a winner. And so look at all of the risks that she took. That's what I want you to see. The risk of asking for what she wanted and not being told, not accepting no as an answer. When you can, and you heard the confidence. And so here's what I want you to know is the more no's you collect, the more confidence you can have if you continue to ask. But you got to be willing for somebody to say no and almost collect no's, because collecting no's means you're getting closer to yes. And that's what I mean about a mindset change, right? That's what I mean about mindset, understanding that there is a seed of an equivalent benefit. And that has been my theme this year. That was my intention. There's the seed of an equivalent benefit in every adversity. You begin, and here's the thing I want to say. So if you guys saw that interview, when you shift from an income to a wealth mindset, you literally begin to see opportunities everywhere. Did you all notice that about Dr. Deeds? She had me cracking up talking about, yeah, I was at the Amazon orientation and I was looking at what was wiring the truck. And then I was thinking about, what are the investments to who's making that and how do I find out how to invest in it? So that's what I want you to do. I want you to think about every one of these interviews that are coming up. The most significant aspect of all of them are the reason their growth accelerated, right? What lever did they pull? And I need you all to begin to think about what is the unique lever you can pull that will accelerate your growth. Is it you need to increase your income, right? Is it that you need a new income stream? Listen, ladies, if you want more, you got to do more. Somebody needs to hear this. If you want more, you got to do more. Do you know, I was just thinking about this. I was meeting with the WealthyU ambassadors, and just about every member on my team probably has 2 to 3 different forms of income, and they're busy, right? I mean, if you've been attached to WealthyU for any amount of time, you know that every one of these women are on it, right? And so that's right, Tamika. Tamiko, increasing your income to earn more. Jacqueline says, yes, different streams of income. That's what I want you to understand, because that is the shift to a wealth mindset. The shift to a wealth mindset means that not only are your assets diversified, but so are your income streams. And many of you have gifts and talents that add value to other people that you need to learn how to monetize. And so that's why in WealthyU, we focus on bringing you through our master classes all kinds of expertise to help you level up. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about is our next master class is, man, I've been talking to our speakers, and what you guys have to know is we put a lot of effort into our master classes and bringing the right people to convey the right message and insights to you that directly align to what it is we're trying to accomplish to help you accelerate your financial growth. And so, for example, in our last master class, we had women from, what did we talk about? We talked about careers. We had an executive coach who talked about how you make it to the C-suite. Who else did we have? We had Kimberly Nixon, who's actually our master class, our master real estate instructor for our Legacy Wealth program, and she talked about how legacy wealth and inheriting her parents having real estate, which allowed her to start investing in real estate at an early age. And so it just exposes you to all different kinds of opportunities, right? Like here's what I want you to know is that in order to go to the next level, someone has to take you there. And what do I mean by that? Is that many of you are working in your own strength. And what got you to where you are today will not take you to the next level. You need more insight and knowledge. And many times, what is going to be required is that you're going to have to make an investment. And an investment, let me just be clear on that. An investment is one in which you look to get a return on investment, right? And so that's why we bring you all kinds of opportunities so that you can get access to this knowledge. And that's exactly what you're going to get access to in our next masterclass. So I just want to bring up an overview of the masterclass. And Deprina, if you could just put the link to the masterclass in the actual chat if you want to follow along. It's just wealthyumasterclass.com. This is our next masterclass, which is happening on March 12th. We go from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it's a party because we have a DJ and we have a lot of fun. And I'm just going to skip to this, but just know that our theme is level up to accelerate your financial growth. But I want to get to our speakers because I got to tell you, we've got some women who are coming and they are going to be sharing with you tremendous insight. Now, coming up, Jandy Turner has been a longtime friend of mine, amazing woman, owns her own events company, but she really started out teaching her friends the game of golf. She's played golf forever, and her whole focus, though, is the business of golf. And what she's going to be sharing with you is insight around why golf is more than a game and how you can use it to level up. So in the chat, let me know how many of you have maybe had a desire to golf, but maybe felt like, oh, I don't know anything about it, or oh, I don't want to go and I don't want to be embarrassed, and oh, I don't know what the big deal is about golf. In the chat, do I have any women in the house who may have thought about something that they want to do but didn't know how to get started? Okay, so Sharon Jones says, would love to play. Tamika says, I have a desire to do so. Yes, I am interested. I'm starting to play again. That's right. And so what I want you to know is that there's a certain etiquette and a certain, what do I want to say, knowledge that you need to have prior to the game. And that's really what Jandy is going to be sharing with us to get you more comfortable and actually help you understand how to approach the game, right? So she's coming. Then next is leveling up on LinkedIn. So, I get so many opportunities to speak, relationships that have come right off of LinkedIn. And some of you may have even heard about WealthyU from LinkedIn, right? And so how many of you are on LinkedIn and are getting people reaching out to you or opportunities are coming to you? In the chat, let me know if opportunities are coming to you as a reason. If you are in business, if you are in corporate, if you want to level up to your next opportunity, you need to have a presence on LinkedIn. And Adrienne Simpson is the CEO of LinkedIn Pros, and she's going to share with you exactly how would you like someone beating down your door, recruiters asking you about what your next opportunity is. Well, she's going to be sharing this. Now, Tamika Smith, one of our WealthyU members, and you're going to hear her story next week. I interviewed her on Get Wealthy. However, she is going to give you guys some unique insight about how she secured an opportunity just based on how she presented her vitae and resume. So she's going to tell you how to level up your profile and let your light shine. You should know that she is an award-winning journalist. She's also host of on weekends NPR. She's young and she's a bad sister, and I can't. When you number one, you need to be waiting for next week for her story on Get Wealthy. but she's also going to be dropping some tremendous insight. And then, of course, we got GJ Sean J. He's spinning the hits, or I don't know, what do you call it now that everything's digital? I don't know what you call it. But at any rate, this is not something where you're just going to be sitting and it's going to be boring. We have a lot of fun. And so I can't wait for you to come. Now, here's what I want you to know, though. If you're here tonight and if you are part of the WealthyU Society, then you can, the cost of the Legacy Wealth Retreat is $197. But here's what I want you to know. If you purchase your ticket, we only have 50 tickets available. I think we just announced it yesterday. We're probably, I don't know, a little bit more than, not quite a half, but all I'm going to tell you is don't wait, right? If you purchase a ticket today, you can purchase it for $47. I mean, that's 25% of the cost, and you can see the amount of effort that we put into our programming and the amount of insight that you're going to get. All you have to do is click on one of these links, secure your spot, and you see where it says 197. If you put this little code in right here, it goes to $47, right? So you're just going to put insider in there, all lowercase, and you're going to obtain your tickets. And here's the other charge I want to give for the members in the WealthyU Society. A lot of you have been, you want your friends and you know, your friends, your family to experience the same kind of growth you are. And you know, when you talk about WealthyU, they're like, man, that's all she talks about. Well, I want to invite you to buy tickets either for your friends or give them the insider promo code, give them the link to WealthyU Masterclass, tell them to put insider in that promo code so they can get into what we're up to, because the goal of WealthyU is to help 1 million Black women get to $1 million in net worth. And the only way that is going to happen is if we have an army helping us make it happen. And so in the chat, let me know how many of you actually joined WealthyU because you had been to one of our master classes in the past. Because I mean, we've had some amazing master classes. Yeah, we had Minda Hart's, New York Times bestselling author. We had Kim Coles, right? From Living Single. I almost said Kim Fields, and I knew those two names, that face and name didn't go together. We have had, I mean, just amazing women giving tremendous insight. So if you've ever, that's right. So Jacqueline went to a master class. Lynette went to a master class. That's right. And so I want you to know that it's really a way of getting insight into WealthyU. Of course, I'm going to, pull things all together around our mindset, strategy, execution, our legacy wealth framework. And we're actually going to do an exercise around your investment opportunity levers, thinking, helping you think through what they are so that you can execute on them. So it's going to be an amazing day. Again, it's only 50 tickets available and only to February 7th, whichever comes first, $47. Listen, you can't, I went to Chipotle. Have you guys been out to eat lately? I mean, not even out to eat. I'm going to pick up food. It was darn near $40. I was like, good night. I'm glad I'm not eating in or anything somewhere where I've got a tip. But really, it's a real value. And we do this because we want to get as many people in the door so that they can experience the same kind of success that you will see in our upcoming weeks on Get Wealthy. right? So we just had Sharon Deans. Coming up next will be Tamika Smith. We have one of our Wealthy You Gold sisters. Oh, how many of you saw the student debt, the interview that I did with Dr. Tisa Silver and Stacy McCoy? How many of you saw that, where she was forgiven $94,000 in debt, right? Well, you don't know Dr. Tisa's backstory. And so it's going to be interesting. So she's coming up, she'll be interviewed, and you'll hear her story and her experience in Wealthy You. And really, how it was that she launched this business was a direct result of the coaching that she got in Wealthy You. You're also going to hear from uh, uh, Belinda. Why is Belinda's name escaping me right now? But an amazing, amazing story. And what is so wonderful about her story is she really talks about the fact that wealth is more than money. You may have seen me interview her where she talks about her parents and her ability to take care of them. So that's going to be, kind of a tearjerker, but very inspirational. You're also going to hear Stacy McCoy's, the woman that paid off that debt. I met Stacy many, many years ago, and you're going to hear her story and how she was able to overcome. She has been a member, well, actually just rejoined into our Legacy Wealth Accelerator. You're going to hear her backstory. I'm trying to think. Sophonia Hardaway. You'll hear her story as well. So we've got some great stories coming up. And also, the other thing, I'll be interviewing people in other areas of the investment industry to expose you to the different kinds of knowledge that you need to be exposed to. So I'm really excited about what you're going to see on Get Wealthy. If you have not viewed the first segment, I really want to encourage you to do so. But you know me, I have no shame in my game. So I'm just going to give it. Who wants to see a little tidbit of Get Wealthy? Because I queued it up and I want you guys to be able to see. Let me just see if I can find it. Our pilot. So excited about what's to come, and we've gotten so much great feedback on this show because, and I think it's because you know we don't get to see ourselves. And I've shared with you, all of you, that the whole point of Wealthy You and the whole point of Get Wealthy is to really show images of Black women doing what they always do, and that is holding the family down, taking care of everyone, sometimes putting their own selves in financial jeopardy in order to take care of everyone else. And so that's why this show is near and dear to my heart. So just briefly, let me run a little, just the promo clip, nothing long. I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and it's time to get wealthy. You're going to learn exactly what you need to do to turn your income into wealth and achieve the level of financial success that you desire and you deserve. That's right, ladies. We are coming for you. In talking about the team, talking to the team this year, everything that we have got going, I'm so grateful. We've put our first commercials out there. We have Facebook ads running. We have this new Get Wealthy show, and it really is. You all did this, right? Like, here's what I want particularly those of you in the WealthyU community, the WealthyU Society, the Legacy Wealth Accelerator, and all of our programs, those of you who have been in it, and those of you who continue to be ambassadors for us and tell people about WealthyU. You did this, right? You did this. Your effort, your time, your investment, your belief in yourself, your commitment, your showing up, the fact that you're here tonight. For those of you who just recently joined, we had a huge number of women join, and we can't wait to see what the future holds. I am just so joyful and optimistic about what the future brings, because what you need to understand, and I want all of you to understand this, is that for those of you who are in WealthyU, who have been WealthyU, that's how we're going to have all of the content for Get Wealthy, because it's going to be us really conveying your wins to the world and letting them know that if you can do it, they can do it too. And that, my friends, is how we're going to get to that million women achieving $1 million in net worth. And so the question I have for all of you here with me this evening, or for all of you who are listening, because we're also going live on Facebook, here's what I want to ask you. Will you be one of the million with $1 million? Because that, my friends, is my wish for all of you. Will you be one of 1 million with $1 million? And with that, I bid you all good night. Thank you so much for joining us here on WealthyU Wind Down. We're here every Wednesday at 8:00 p.m. Make sure you tune into the next episode of Get Wealthy. It airs on the Black Star Network. You can go to blackstarnetwork.com and download the app. You can also watch it on Facebook. We have put it in the link. Know that we will do a recap, because the most important thing is that you apply what you learn. So knowledge is not power. Knowledge correctly applied is. And so I'll see you right back here next week. And don't forget, make sure you sign up and register for the Legacy Wealth virtual retreat, Leveling Up to Accelerate Your Financial Growth. I'm Deborah Owens, founder and CEO of WealthyU, where we help Black women build their first investment portfolios to 7 figures and beyond.